Former President Trump's campaign says that he will appeal a ruling that came down today that says he does not have immunity against charges of election interference. Special counsel Jack Smith asked the Supreme Court to fast track the case. The justices said no to that. They pushed it to the lower D.C. court, which is normal procedure to ask them to weigh in first. The legal battle has already put the trial on hold. It was set to begin next month in Washington. So what does all this mean for the former president and for the election? Let's bring in former Assistant U.S. Attorney Andy McCarthy, a Fox News contributor. Andy, always good to have you with us. It's a 57-page decision by a 3-panel group of judges that include 1 Trump appointee and 2 Biden appointees on this 3-panel system. And one of the things that they said is, quote, former President Trump's stance, meaning complete immunity basically for presidents, would collapse our system of separated powers by placing the president beyond the reach of all 3 branches. What do you think about this decision, Andy?
Well, the panel did a very thorough rejection of President Trump's position that he is immune from federal prosecution. It made a distinction between discretionary acts that a president takes, such as, granting a pardon, which they accept that a court has no business reviewing, but they distinguish that from ministerial acts or private acts where a president is basically in the position of following the congressional laws that he takes an oath of office to uphold. And on grounds of constitutional law and policy, they looked at the prior rulings. And even though the Supreme Court has never resolved this precise question, they made a very convincing case that I don't think too many people are surprised by, that the president doesn't have immunity.
So let's put up on the board the Trump campaign courtroom calendar. It is very extensive. And I'm wondering what you think, what the impact is on the timing of all of this and whether or not we will see any January 6th case happen before the election and whether the Supreme Court is going to deal with this issue in the interim. Andy.
Yeah. So, Martha, very interestingly, probably just as important in some ways as the 57-page opinion from the court is this short 1-page order that it issued, which basically says if Trump wants to try to now take the next step of appealing to the full circuit en banc, as they say, all 11 judges, he can do that, but they are not going to continue to keep the case away from Judge Chutkan if he decides to go that route. So what the court basically said to the former president is, you have until Monday to appeal to the Supreme Court. And if you do that, then we'll hold the case in abeyance away from the district judge, Judge Chutkan, until the Supreme Court decides whether to take the case or not. So the court is aware that the president or the former president wants to delay things, and it's kind of cutting out that middle step. It doesn't mean that Trump can't try it. Just means that the case will go back to Judge Chutkan and she can start holding pretrial hearings and the like. That makes it a lot more likely that this case could get to trial. But the other moving part here is that the Supreme Court is going to consider the obstruction statute in connection with some of the January 6th cases. We won't get a ruling on that until the end of June. So as a practical matter, I don't think she could start the case prior to then. And depending on what they do with that case, it could require a big overhaul of Jack Smith's indictment. So we'll just have to continue to watch that.
Indeed, we will. Andy, thank you very much. Andy McCarthy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.